So, a lot of you said in the comments on my reaction and online, I've been looking at the social media chatter, and the assessment seems to be that this is Thor and Loki meets Fast and Furious underwater. And I have to say, I think that's a fair assessment. As for how I feel, as I said, I really liked the first movie, and again, a lot of people did. It made $1 billion, and I still like the first movie. I mean, it's not like over time I've been like, what was I thinking, right? But I feel like story-wise, like it's still gorgeous. James Wan makes these movies, these Aquaman movies, stunning. Best underwater action, I think, that we've still seen to date, even though a lot of other people tried to ride James Wan's seahorse after this movie made so much money. But I think that story-wise, it seems to me to skew younger than the first Aquaman. And so it seems more like a family movie, but like, you know, like as I said in my reaction, like a journey to the center of the earth. And that puts me off a little bit. Particularly because, one of you tweeted in a reaction to my tweeting about this, that what is Jason Momoa's reward for doing well with this movie? He's no longer Aquaman because, James Gunn is, well, who knows? James Gunn is doing a soft reboot. But I think he's made it pretty clear, even though he backed off of it because he realized he was killing these movies, these remaining Snyderverse movies, that in his universe, Jason Momoa is going to be Lobo. But he's already kind of Lobo here. He's Lobo Aquaman. I mean, let's be honest. Jason Momoa is always just Jason Momoa. And sometimes that works and sometimes it doesn't. And a little bit of Jason Momoa goes a long way. And, James Wan made it work in the first movie. And that was incredible. I think that's the first time that Jason Momoa worked like that. And I don't know if it can be repeated, to be honest with you. He's pretty good in Dune. I will say that. And I just don't see enough evidence here that this is something that, unless you're a die-hard superhero DC comic book fan person, and even then, those people haven't even been showing up to the last few movies. But why would you see this in theaters? This to me looks like you'll catch it on digital, or better yet, no extra cost on Max, and you'll have a great time. But I don't really know if anyone's going to pay to see this in the theater, particularly because it's going nowhere. It's a road to nowhere. It's not even a cul-de-sac. Remember when they tried to say that the Snyderverse was a cul-de-sac? It's just a road that leads off a cliff. And so no one's going to drive down that road. Cul-de-sac sounds like cute, and you just kind of like, oh, it's nice. It's a nice little neighborhood down there. There's a park. You go hang out there. Here you're like, there's just nothing down there, man. All right, so let's break it down. There is some really nice stuff to see, and let's see what they've tried to make of this. So James Wan has just sliced this thing to death with so many reshoots and re-edits because of a copious amount of screenings and audience feedback, and so I get a little nervous it's going to play like that as well. Poor James Wan. All right, here we go. But I like this intro. I like the logos in the ice, and it just goes to show you. The vastness of the ocean. And it's so different in so many different places. But this is so Fast and Furious. Although I also said it looks like a pharmaceutical commercial, right? Do you get headaches? Are you depressed? Do you work at DC? Take Aquaman. Aquaman 2. Some of you pointed out that Amber Heard is there sitting on the blanket next to Aquaman's mom, Nicole Kidman. I totally forgot her character's name, and I forgot to look it up, so whatever. Good for Nicole Kidman, though. She looks fantastic in this trailer. And so they're one big happy, they're the surf and turf family. Half on land, half in the sea. And they've extended, we're talking a lot about lineage here. There's a very important line at the end of the trailer where Patrick Wilson's Orm says, Black Manta means to end the bloodline, which means he's going after that sweet innocent baby. So that's kind of like, because I don't know, a little bit of me is annoyed that they're giving all these DC characters and in the MCU, all these Marvel characters, children. Because I'm like, what are you trying to do here? Are you passing the mantle? I like the characters I have, thank you very much. And they're all doing it at the same time, and all the characters are doing it. So I don't love it. But let's see. This baby is adorable, though. So they're also a fighting family. You can see. And there's that cute little baby who's missing a booty. Oh, where'd the booty no! Oh, it's the case of the missing booty. So adorable. Oh, look, I think it's interesting that they chose to represent the land with the shirt that he's wearing. You know, why isn't it like my shirt? Why isn't it fishies? He's got the mine seagulls on there. Adorable baby. He's got Mera's hair. I'm sure there'll be a poop joke there because Jason Momoa just can't resist. And he's sharing a beer with his dad, as he did in the first movie, which I thought was nice. Tamura Morrison sure is working a lot these days. Good for him. And he's like, how'd you do it, Dad? And he goes, your job's a lot tougher than mine. And we're about to see, oh, look, I think that aqua train is derailing. So here he comes. I would think this would be a little bit beneath the king of Atlantis, you know, because he's the ruler of Atlantis. But I guess, you know, he's also going to deal with stuff like this. So he stops at Superman style, kind of, very Superman type scene. And then you can see how the trident is useful. He's like, you know, I mean, think of the property damage. Okay. I'll just say that reminds me of The Incredibles 2. Mrs. Incredible, aka Elastigirl, she stops the train with a lot, and she stops things with a lot less collateral damage. Thank you very much. All right, but then he says, oh yeah, I got a job, and I like this. For some reason, I find this charming. I think it's funny. I think it works very well with Jason Momoa. I'm surprised that that's wash and wear, that suit. It looks so stupid, particularly like, just sitting there, like, you're like, do you have to wear this? Is kind of what I would say every morning. But he looks good at it, though. When he puts it on and he's underwater with the hair moving underwater, it kind of works. But sometimes it just looks real stupid, too. And also, again, all the superhero suits look the same. Like, they all look the same. They look like superhero suits. I don't believe for a second that that's actually what a king of Atlantis would wear. But I like his castle. Oh, it looks like a great toy. Some of you said this was just a toy commercial. And I'm like, but it's an amazing toy commercial. Oh, I love that. It's gorgeous. Why don't they spend, I wonder if they spend some of their time here. Can that baby breathe underwater? I mean, both of his parents can. I don't see why he wouldn't be able to. Is that little baby going to be swimming around in the water and going around? I'd love to see it. But that is just an absolutely stunning castle. Aquaman has a castle. How cool is that? He's a Disney princess. And so he says 500 million people, but he's calling aquatic life people as well, from every known species in the sea. And you can see even the humanoid ones are of varying degrees. Like, these are like fish-like people down here. But what about the jellyfish? Is that a job for them? Aren't jellyfish alive too? Why are they decorations? It's tough when you start doing stuff this way. I'd be like, I don't know, man. I hope they're getting a good minimum wage. Decorate your party. And why aren't any of the aquatic animals in the arena? Shouldn't I see like a dolphin in there being like, you know, like me, rooting for his combatant? So yeah, but the arena, by the way, was one of my favorite sequences from the first film. All right, so there's Black Manta's ship. He's still scarred. Scarred inside and out. Remember when Yahya Abdul-Mateen like really was a big deal? It looked like he was really going to make it. It's Hollywood's a tough town. I mean, I still think, you know, let's see if and when Wonder Man ever comes out. But he was very good in Watchmen and didn't get any credit for that. So I love the way these ships move, by the way. Isn't that incredible? I mean, that's just really great. It's just stunning. It's so beautiful. Woo. So there's Nicole Kidman looking fantastic as our new female lead. I love her boots. I love her whole outfit. Her outfit also looks like a costume, but I like it so much I kind of don't care. As I said for the first movie, I was like, can I get just a shirt of that? I don't want a full bodysuit, but can I get a shirt like Mera or Nicole Kidman? Because a scale look is just really cool. All right, so they bomb the house. Now you can see everybody's there. You can see all 4 adults, but I don't know where that baby is. I'm sure the baby's fine. I'm sure it'll be under like, you know how it is like in movies where like a beam falls down or like a piece of wood and the baby was luckily underneath it. Maybe the baby has super strength. I don't know. Now that's a cool shot. I mean, whatever you might think of this movie, Black Manta is ridiculously comics accurate, just as he was in the first film. Now, I don't know if this is clever editing or if he can really shoot, like if his blasts are that powerful. Because look, not only are they taking out some of these ships, I don't know if this is like an armada or if this is just like a an innocent group of civilians in their morning commute. We don't know quite yet. But not only can he take out some of those ships, but look, he gets the bridge too. I mean, that's considerable damage. Direct hit. I sunk your battleship. Oh, there's another toy they could make off of this. All right, so from director James Wan, he's like, take my name off it, man. So poor James Wan. So she looks great there. Look at the visual effects on the hair. Look at the shirt. I love that shirt. I'd love to have that shirt. But that's so cool. I still think best underwater action. Better than Black Panther 2, better than The Little Mermaid. And these are, I said wedding cake. Aquaman is a wedding cake superhero movie. Very ornate, really lavish, really very detail oriented, and I'm glad they haven't lost that. That was one of the best things about the first movie, and I'm glad that they've kept it for the second film. So that's a pretty cool shot of Yahya Abdul-Mateen. The second. I mean, that's pretty nice. At least, it's a movie full of there's a lot of eye candy in this movie. Let's say, right, of all different sorts. So look, his eyes are glowing green, and they say that this is you would think it would be the green trident, but apparently it's the black trident for Black Manta, but it's not originally his, but it does match the set. But it glows a green energy, and apparently it has a dark magic that is not only spreading amongst the sea and the world, but is it infecting Black Manta? I'm curious to see what the effect on him is. But it looks good on him, I'll say that. So there's he's destroying the world. They said this is supposed to have something to do with environmentalism. What? Is the black trident plastic straws? I don't know what that is. I mean, I don't know if there's really room for an environmental message in here. So I wonder how his suit can make him invisible. Are there some aquatic plants that can do that? Why does he need a suit that makes him invisible? It doesn't seem very Aquaman-y to me. All right, he just needs a new suit, I guess, because he's a toy. He's a living toy. So there are some weird creatures here. I like this when he says you look really rough. And then he does look really rough. I'm like, whoa, it's tough down here. You certainly have been punished. But he's still a buff warrior. So he can fight alongside. It looks like even Aquaman's having a harder time. He's like, give me a high five, little bro. And Patrick Wilson, James Wan's, I say all the time we talk about directors and actors teaming up. Very much so the case with James Wan and Patrick Wilson. So he's like, I can't believe what a mess you've made of the ocean. But then they're also here. This to me was so Journey to the Center of the Earth. I was like, if Dwayne Johnson ran up here for a cameo, I would believe it. But he's probably never going to touch DC again. I gotta say, the Orm look is pretty sweet. He cleaned up real good. So he's like, kings make bridges. That jump is horrible. Again, I'm like, is this a movie for children? Wait a minute. Did you sucker me into watching a movie for little kids? So they make this bridge. And I don't know why this is something that Orm's upset about. It seems like a perfectly valid bridge to me. So this Christmas, yeah, I'll see it. Well, I do for work, but I don't know. I would see this no matter what, but I think almost everybody I know would not. Maybe I could get them to get it on digital. So we're seeing some kind of shark kingdom, right? This reminds me of Harley Quinn a little bit, actually. So yeah, this is very Thor and Loki, this shot, I will say. But the hair looks good underwater. We got to stop Black Manta. And Jason Momoa is he's much more powerful now. Oh, look at the beam. I like how he does the arm crosses the arms to get ready. It's pretty cool. It looks good. So he takes everybody out. Yeah, look at that. He looks like he's going into an athlete entering the arena. That's very cool. So we have a history lesson here that King Atlanna was fighting the Seven Kingdoms. And I thought the battles in the first movie were excellent. I really enjoyed them. And you can see one of these, it's very 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, this little tentacled creature, and this tentacled vehicle, and those things can do a lot. You actually see them doing we'll spot them a couple of other times in this trailer, but there's the first one. And they're taking on this whoever's wielding the black trident, and they say it was cursed. And it cursed all those soldiers to become these really weird characters, that kind of look like the characters from the Trench, but, they've been forever, it's very Game of Thrones. They've basically been turned into Nightwalkers, right? But underwater with green. And Black Manta, does that trident naturally separate or did it break? But he puts it right back together, not a problem. And he's like, only a momentary pause. And this is where Nicole new outfit change for her. I also like that one. That's beautiful. And Nicole Kidman, thumb holes. And Nicole Kidman says, the trident's dark magic is spreading. You must stop it, my son. And so she's like, I'll do double duty. I'll play Anthony Hopkins and like the female lead. And she's doing it. Good for her. So that almost looked like an eye, like Sauron a little bit, you know, with the explosion. That's interesting. So there's some kind of building that's going down thanks to that dark magic. I love this shot. Is he going to take over like the White Walker? Or we'll call them Green Walkers. Or Green Swimmers, maybe, I guess. Is he going to take them over? But that is a beautiful shot. That looks like a painting by Alex Ross. It's gorgeous. All right. Black Manta's like, put that in my study. And so here he is fighting Black Manta. Trident versus Trident. They both glow. If we get a bunch of different colored glowing tridents, it's going to be like all the different magics in WandaVision. And then I don't know. So one king. And, I got to say yikes. That was a good freeze frame. But I have to say part of me is like delicious, right? I don't know how Aquaman can resist down there. He's like, yes. I mean, like imagine having to rule shrimp. You'd be like, you guys can't come over here anymore. I'm sorry. Just, send me emails. So he's having a rough time. His face looks fully CGI there for some reason. I don't know why. All right, but it doesn't work. He gets pushed back. Very beautiful. He's like, we have to have a world for our children. That sounds like an environmental line for sure. And so those are the things. So they can spread out their tentacles and then they can kind of fly. That's crazy. James Wan, maybe he could get a 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea movie, although I'm sure he's sick to death of this environment. But, something like this for that would be cool. So, he's smizing. Oh, yeah. So I said, the 7 kingdoms will stand with you. So here are some of the shots. These actually are in this trailer from the teaser, and I like them a lot. So Amber Heard gets one shot, and this is also the one that we saw. Wouldn't it be crazy if this was like her only shot in the movie? But no, they have to show her walk on that blanket that we saw her in at the beginning. Or do they? But anyway, so here's one shot, and she's trying to break in there, as you can see. I love this. Not only do I think it's awesome that he's riding this glowy seahorse, but what's going on with that octopus? Is that octopus fighting him, or is that octopus coming along for the ride? Is that his sidekick? I absolutely adore it. It's so funny. It's great. It would be funnier maybe if he was like a octopus cape right around his neck, but this is just great. I love that. That is so cool. And there's one of those things emerging from the ground, you can see. I think it's gonna surprise Orm, because look, there he is dodging it and it grabs him. There's like that cursed king. That looks great. That looks great. And there's, what's shipping lanes? The danger of shipping lanes. So there's Aquaman. I love this shot. She looks great. She's like almost, again, I'm sure, almost entirely CGI, and you can tell, but it's okay. And so I think is she being chased, or is she losing her backup? We don't know. And that's great. The ice breaks away, the water falls. And they said film for IMAX. And I have to say, my press screening was not in IMAX, but when I saw Aquaman again with the regular audiences, I did see it in the AMC Lincoln Square IMAX, and that was a treat. So of course, I mean, look how gorgeous this movie is. I think you want to see it on a really fabulous screen. So the only thing I'm worried about, again, is that the story might be weak, and then also it might be for more little kids, and that to me would be a shame. But it looks really stunning, and I like the first movie so much that I think that's giving me a lot of faith in this one. So what did you think? Share your thoughts down below, subscribe today, and of course, as always, you can check out some more videos right now.